The first 10 and a half minutes of this episode are coming to you spoiler-free.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Greg.
We're human beings. And we like movies.
We'll be doing reviews of brand new releases,
Old classics,
entire sagas,
and even TV shows and video games.
This is Reaction Time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 6th episode of Reaction Time Podcast.
Hi.
How are you, Sam?
I'm good. How are you, Craig?
I'm so freaking awesome. Today, we are going to be reviewing a very fun movie for me. Curious to see what Sam thinks, but we are reviewing the first Cloverfield that was directed by Matt Reeves. It was created by J.J. Abrams. The whole universe, the other 3 movies, he's a big kind of producer on them. Just this kind of cool universe thing.
And this movie came out 15 years ago, almost to the day.
Yeah, it did.
Will be 2 days ago as of the airing of this podcast.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It was good. Sam,
What's up?
what did you think of this movie?
6.3 out of 10.
Okay.
It was okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I
fine.
didn't hate it, but
No.
I didn't like it as much
That's
as I
fine.
wanted to. I mean, I'm trying to even get my thoughts together. There just wasn't enough, I don't think, substance for me.
Okay, yeah.
Which, here's the thing. Everything I say in this is just going to be like, I get it, because it was all just on a handheld camera. And so, of course, it was this way. But that doesn't necessarily make me like it more.
Right,
I just
right.
understand it more.
Yeah.
So,
They didn't have to do the handheld camera.
No, they didn't. And I thought about, would it have been better without it?
Yeah. I know a lot
I
of...
think, personally, maybe I would have liked it more.
Yeah.
It's obviously a completely different vibe.
Yeah.
So...
It's not the found footage.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's necessarily better, but for
Yeah.
me, I would have enjoyed it more.
And I would say almost majority of people would say that too. I know that there was a lot of people that actually even got like motion sickness.
I
from it.
totally get that.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
It's never bothered me. I never have had an issue with the kind of found footage, shaky cam that a lot of people like to call it. So it didn't distract from me at all. Other than when I first started watching it, because I haven't watched this in a long time, I was like, man, this is like 480p resolution here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird.
Which I think they were going for.
So here's the thing. 6 or 7 years after this movie came out, a movie called Project Almanac came out.
Okay.
Which I love that movie. I don't think it's a super well-known movie, but that is a found footage movie. It's a lot less shaky.
Okay, yeah.
And I actually think I enjoy the found footage idea.
Yeah. You
But
like
I don't
Blair Witch, right?
love Blair Witch.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I typically enjoy that.
Yeah.
But I think I have limits
Yeah.
within there of like what it can look like and what the story needs to do if it's going to be found footage. So I think that this movie just lacked a little bit in those areas for me personally. But
My wife hates this movie.
it was fine.
She doesn't like it at all.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like that's my full review is it was fine, I guess.
I think the thing about it was for me and probably a lot of people that really enjoyed this movie, it wasn't really even necessarily the movie. It was the build up to the movie. Right? Because I kind of showed you a couple things and told you about a lot of stuff, but just like a little recap, for people that maybe haven't seen this movie, nobody knew this movie existed. And the first Transformers came out and this trailer just shadow dropped in there. Nobody even knew what it was. It didn't even end with a name. It was basically a bunch of people at a party. You see some explosions and the kind of found footage, then it just had a date and that was it.
I love that.
That's so cool,
That's
right?
so awesome.
And then in the months preceding to the release, because I even think, I can't remember when Transformers came out, but it was like...
2007. I think it was in the summer. Like June or July.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was like 4 months or something, and the movie came out. So it's very quick, right?
Yeah.
And so leading up to that, they took all of the main characters, they created, for people that maybe know what this is, MySpace pages. For those of you that don't know what MySpace is, basically what Facebook is now. But they created these pages for them. They created this entire drink and juice company that tied into it, not in the movie at all. Like, you don't even see it, right? But they tied it into thinking that might have to do with the causes of events. There was just a lot of these little, and then they posted these little videos of people around the world that took their own found footage stuff that was like, in the background, you see an explosion, or like a guy was on the beach and he falls asleep and he wakes up and the whole beach is deserted. And like, so the marketing was so cool. right? They spent so much time, so much effort, because since there wasn't a name and in the trailer you don't see the monster, people thought it was the new Godzilla movie. Like they thought, so they had no idea what it was,
That
right?
makes sense.
And so it was so many like theories and speculations, and people were like breaking this trailer out frame by frame. And so I think the experience was really, really cool. And then you see the movie, and I will even agree, and we'll kind of get into this when we do our numbers, but it's a fine movie. You know,
it's fine.
It doesn't do anything like. There's a couple things that I think it does really well, but it was that whole experience of everything before it that like got you all excited, and like it was new, it was never done before. And then, you know, J.J. Abrams was talking about how he wanted to kind of create these branching movies that kind of tied into it, but were also not a tie-in at all. It was just the universe, and he achieved that really well with 10 Cloverfield Lane, and then it kind of died after the Cloverfield Paradox because that movie was not great at all. But yeah,
do you think your loving of this movie has a lot to do with nostalgia?
Yeah,
You think it's
just that you know, because I saw Transformers, you know, when it came out with my family, and I remember like me and my brother were like, what the heck is this? And we like watched the trailer again, and we were like, you know, we watched anime and all that kind of stuff. So we were like, man, is this like some kind of crazy kaiju monster, or, you know, some Godzilla or like something like that? So I think it was nostalgia. And then I have a memory of, so me and my brother and my dad went and saw it when it came out. And I just remember like I had been clenched up quite a bit during the movie with some of the kind of more craziness that happens. And I'm not going to spoil anything. I mean, it's a 15-year-old movie, but when it ends, it just goes straight to credits, and there's no music. There's no sound. And it was like, seeing it in the theater, you were just like, holy crap. Like, what did I just watch? And like, it just cut to black because it ends very abruptly.
Yeah.
And in a way that I thought was cool, because they did something that a lot of those kind of more monster movies don't do. So like the little memories and stuff like that, and just I've liked this movie, you know, and so it's just fun to see again. But seeing it again, not having seen it for so long, I definitely picked it apart more.
Yeah.
You know, but I still loved it. I mean, I'd give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, see, because I think I was too young. So I was 11 when Transformers came out. And then I was still 11 when this movie came out. I was 2 weeks away from turning 12.
Yeah.
But, dude, one thing I read on this movie, though, is that it got greenlit in February of 2007 and then came out in January of 2008.
Yeah.
11 months, basically, of production that it was
Yeah.
out. Which is, that's too fast.
But you can tell.
But it's so fast.
You can tell. Right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily even in a bad way that you can tell, because I think visually it looks really good. Like I don't think it really looks bad. But I think the main thing that they were trying to go for was the secrecy and just the wow effect.
Yeah.
Right?
Which,
you know,
apparently they did great.
Apparently
I wasn't
did
around.
great.
I was around for it, but
because when
I
this
wasn't around for it.
released, everybody was talking about how good it was. Right. And then it had a great following. And then 10 Cloverfield Lane, I think, took 6 or 8 years to come out. And because I think it was 2016.
Yeah.
And then it was another thing. I think it was one of the Transformers. Same thing. Nobody knew about it. And it shadow drop another trailer. I'll have you watch that trailer. It's actually probably one of my all-time favorite trailers of any movie. But I think the thought behind it was what J.J. Abrams was going to do was he was going to take pre-existing movies that were already being made, which is what he did with 10 Cloverfield Lane, and then kind of like, hey, I want to basically pay you to finish your movie and put a little bit of this kind of universe stuff in there, and it'll get you more publicity, you know. I don't know if 10 Cloverfield Lane hadn't been called 10 Cloverfield Lane, if many people would have seen it, right? Yeah. He had the big name of John Goodman, but that was pretty much it at that time. And so that's kind of what he wanted to do, which is kind of a cool thing, you know, like take little projects, give them a bunch of money, let's tie it in somehow to Cloverfield. And I think he had this cool envision, but where 10 Cloverfield Lane took so long to come out, a lot of people I think had kind of already died on the hype. Yeah. You know, and then Cloverfield Paradox, I think probably just kind of burned it to the ground. It was going to release in theaters, and then all of a sudden it was just Netflix, and you could tell. And so, and it kind of, but anyways.
Yeah, I don't have much else to say, non-spoilers wise. It's just like...
Not much spoilers.
It felt
with this
like your
movie either.
typical okay movie from 2008 to me.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch it, I don't care.
I recommend it. It's
Craig
fun.
recommends it. I say
don't
if
like
you want to
shaky
watch a
cam,
movie,
do
then
not watch it.
Yeah. Like
You'll get motion
this
sickness.
is ultra shaky cam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So be ready for it. And
Like
it's the whole
person
thing.
running, and
Yeah.
it's like they're running with the camera.
There were some cool parts, but if you're an average movie viewer, I would say that this is probably not going to blow you away.
Yeah.
But it's a relatively fun watch.
Yeah.
If you can't find anything else to watch.
And it's like an hour and 10 minutes long.
It's short.
It's really not going to waste too much of your time.
Yeah, it's not that bad. So we'll jump into spoilers now then.
Okay.
And start giving our scores.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
Visuals,
So visuals.
which you kind of have to add the camera into it.
So yeah, because here's the thing. I want to cut it some slack because now I'm not super well versed on how VFX are done and whatnot.
Right.
So in my brain, it feels like it's probably a little harder to get really good VFX into something that looks like handheld footage.
And also the amount of movement.
Yeah.
Usually when you see like a big Godzilla movie, they're like still shots that barely move.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking of a moving camera plus keeping your CGI thing in frame and not being weird.
So personally, I didn't think that the big monster looked very good.
Yeah.
But again, I'm trying to cut it slack because it was like, how do you do really good VFX that look like they're on a VHS tape?
Yeah.
Like on super shaky cam. It's like, to me as a regular person, that sounds tough.
Yeah.
I didn't love how shaky the shaky cam was. The first time you see the monster, it reminded me of one of the monsters from Monsters, Inc. So that
Which one?
I don't remember. I think he's friends with the guy with one eye, maybe.
Oh, the guy
They're
with-
two of the random kind of side monsters, and he's got tentacles.
Oh, the purple guy?
I think
the tall
so.
purple guy.
Yeah,
that's
the tall
got
purple- yeah.
Yeah, Lindsay calls it the octopus monster.
First
Yeah.
time I saw him, I was
Yeah.
like, uh-oh. Like, that's bad. That's pretty bad. So I'm going to dock at some points for that. And then there was one part towards the end where they're going to look for Beth in her apartment.
Uh-huh.
And the whole thing's supposed to be tilted.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, I feel like they're faking the tilting. And then I looked at their
Really?
clothes, and none of their clothes were moving with the gravity. They were staying put.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice that.
Because it looked like they were faking, like stumbling, like, whoa, I can't stay
I
up.
didn't even notice
And then
that.
once I noticed the clothes weren't moving with gravity, I was like, that's so lazy.
Yeah, that's super lazy.
Because you can
just prop
easily build a
prop your
set and just
Yeah.
tilt it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. No, that makes sense.
So visuals, the little monsters looked pretty good.
They were good.
They were pretty good.
And the freaking bite wound,
The bite wound looked nasty.
gnarly.
Also, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Did her head explode or did she?
Her belly.
Her belly exploded.
I don't know if another one came out, and that's why they like brought her away in the little quarantine.
I kind of
spot.
liked the mystery, but
Yeah, I don't know.
it's kind of cool when that happened.
I
I rewound it because I
Yeah.
was like, wait, hold on, wait, what just happened?
My note is pop.
Yeah. Just pop, snap, crackle, pop. So there was some cool stuff.
Yeah, that little train subway scene, that I think was like the best part.
Yeah.
Because it was creepy.
Yeah.
You didn't, and yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 111.
Okay.
So not too high. I would say it was just fine.
Yeah. I give it a 154.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
It's average.
up there.
Yeah. That's like
Okay.
that's an average score.
7.5.
You know.
Okay.
I like the monster. I think he looks cool.
The concept of it's really cool. I just
Yeah.
wish it looked better.
Yeah.
Like I
just
like
don't see
like
him
the
much.
design of the monster,
Yeah.
but I don't like the execution of how they did it CGI wise.
Yeah.
But again, 2008, even
Yeah.
though Transformers had just come out, and
It
that movie
did.
looked dope.
Oh, that looked.
But
Well, it's also Michael Bay. You know, that guy just gets CGI.
he does. But yeah, I mean, again, like the shaky cam was a little bit much.
And that's why I would say higher for me, because I have zero problems with it.
Yeah.
I don't know
That
why.
makes
It
sense.
just really never has bothered me.
Yeah.
I don't even know why it doesn't bother me. But one thing about the visuals that I wanted to bring up, the Statue of Liberty head that comes crashing down. I don't remember the exact amount, but I think they enlarged it by I think it's like 3 times bigger than in real life. The Statue of Liberty head. Because if they
I was
had,
wondering because it felt really big.
because if they had put the actual like size in there, it would have looked pretty lame.
Because it would have been, because isn't it roughly the size of like a small sedan?
Probably.
It's like, I think it's like close to about
Yeah.
the size of a car.
I don't remember. I think they
And it was
just said-
huge.
It was
It like
huge.
filled up the entire road.
Which it made it better,
It did.
right? I mean, if you
Yeah.
had this little teeny Statue of Liberty head that just like
It just like
falls
rolls.
there.
It feels like you're in Vegas, you know?
So like I love that scene just because it portrayed like the horrible and dread that this monster just like took out like the symbol of the United States, right? You know, and just like smacked the head, you know, and so like. It's cool.
Yeah. So I like that too. I liked when it destroyed the bridge.
Never go on a bridge in a disaster movie.
No, see.
Why haven't people learned that by now?
Why would...
Never go on a bridge when there's monsters. They always hit them.
The subway tunnel, honestly, was the best place to go until it wasn't.
Until the little ones got them.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, the bridge was good. The bridge looked good.
Yeah, the bridge was good.
The destruction.
I think some of the destruction was really fun.
Yeah.
It was. One scene I do remember really loving is they. You know, the main group of people are on the street and they're kind of all alone. And then he kind of turns I don't remember if he falls over first or what. No, then they see the monster come out from behind the building. And then a rocket like whizzes by his head. Yeah. And he turns around and it's like from a low angle and like the military's like coming over. I was like, that's a cool looking shot.
Cool. Yeah.
And they're all like walking up with bazookas and rocket launchers and machine guns and stuff. That was really cool looking. So
and the like one vacant horse. And like pulling the carriage. Yeah. That was such a cool
stuff like that.
thing.
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Okay.
So what about the story?
There's not much of a story, you know?
Yeah.
I think they captured the party really well, you know, of all the gossiping and everything that's going on. That like captures like a college, you know, party, whatever, where it's like, oh, did you hear that they totally had sex? And so I was like, thought it was hilarious because I was like, that feels so real, you know, that they would be doing that.
Yeah.
And even like all the people that talk in the camera, like just how awkward and stuff they are, like, really captured that really well.
Yeah.
But I also think it's like the dumbest thing ever for them all to go back for Beth. Because they basically had slept together one time and that was it. Like, I mean, they had really only dated like a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. And on that note, if you had just slept with somebody and they came in with a camera in the morning filming you, like, get the hell out of there.
Yeah, run away.
The guy messed up.
Yeah, he got issues, girl.
And the blanket placement.
Gotta love that blanket placement.
Gotta love the blanket placement.
Always. That's how I sleep. The blanket perfectly draped across my body.
Story. I don't know. The one reason why I think I would give it higher is I really like the ending. Because most disaster monster movies usually have some kind of somewhat happy ending, and literally this is the movie where everybody dies.
Everybody dies.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I always have wanted a movie where everybody dies in the end. And so that last moment where it's just him and Beth and they're just recording it and it's just like you see one explosion and then another one and it just fades to black.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I gave it a 128.
Okay. 128?
Yeah. 128. It's not a great story, but a couple cool beats.
Yeah.
Still better than Avatar.
Is it though? Because I disagree. I like that the monster comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, where that ends.
Did you see, I was going to tell you and I forgot, the last clip after everything explodes and then it goes to them, I think they're on like a Ferris wheel or something.
Yeah.
Did you see something falling from the sky into the ocean?
What?
I forgot to tell you to look. So that's basically...
That would have changed everything for me.
Basically what it was is when they're on the Ferris wheel, like right before it happens, a satellite from space comes crashing into the ocean and disturbs the monster in the ocean, and that's when he comes up.
Oh, so it is from the ocean.
Yeah, it's from the ocean. So it's literally, I mean, I watched it probably 5 times and never noticed that until I was seeing a theory thing on it and they were talking about, it's literally a blink and you miss it. It's so small, but it's just like this really cool little detail of a satellite.
That's kind of awesome.
And you see the ocean, just like, a little splash.
What?
That's it, yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, every other story point was like not great. Yeah. I'm gonna give it an 89.
Okay, that works.
That's feels generous, but I like big monsters, So. Yeah. I wonder if I even have notes on the story. Okay, so this is what I have to say about the story.
Okay.
The second half was a lot better.
Yes.
The first half They spent too long at the party.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was boring.
It was boring. I know they were like setting up some relationships, but
Yeah.
like you can do that so
For an
quick.
hour and 10-minute movie, I think 20 minutes was the party.
Yeah. So, but once they get into the tunnel, the rest of the movie was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Once they get into the hospital and they're like, we've got a bite, and then she explodes.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's so good.
So this is a bit more on the writing side. Rob, the main, I guess the main guy, the main guy who's not holding the camera, he does not answer anybody when they're trying to talk to him. And I hate that. That's not realistic.
No, it's not.
Every time someone would ask him a question, instead of saying, hold on, he just doesn't respond. I'm
And
like,
then he
that's
was just
so
like,
stupid.
we gotta go save Beth.
It kept getting worse and worse as the movie went on. Second of all, Beth, can we just talk about Beth for a minute, bro?
Yeah.
So they go and find Beth. She's got rebar through her whole body.
Yep.
And so they're like, best way to save her is to lift her off the rebar. So they lift her off. So she's got an exit wound.
Yep.
She's got a full hole
And an
through
entrance
her.
wound.
And immediately she's got wheels, dude.
Yeah.
She's running. She's on a full sprint. She's fine, dude. They wrapped a shirt around her. She's good.
Yeah, she's good. That's what my wife was talking about.
Was it adrenaline or is Beth just a baller?
Well, so when they first lift her up and they're going back down, you can see both of them holding her. Like she needs some help. And then after that, when they get like back to the street, because you got to think about it, they went up like 60 flights of stairs, I think, right? So they had to go all the way back down. Mm-hmm. But like initially she's struggling. And then like when they get to the street and there's craziness going on, I think it's probably adrenaline at that point.
It's possible.
But at the same time, everything about being impaled is you don't take it out because now you have bleeding. You're supposed to keep it in there. So
right. But also, they can't just have the building strapped to her.
No, I understand that.
Away.
And my wife's like, yeah, she would survive that. And I'm like, well, she technically only lives for like 15 more minutes because then the movie ends.
That brings me to my next point. Did they for real leave the woman with an open flesh wound off of the first chopper?
Yeah.
They're like putting people on a chopper and they're like, hold on, there's a hole through your whole body. Let me just get everybody else on the helicopter first and then you can fly away. It's like, what stupid writing is this?
Oh, man. No,
like,
that's
she's like, I'm okay. I'll wait for the next one.
It's just a one because HUD, Rob, and Beth get on the one plane and the other, I can't remember her name, Robin something? She gets on the one plane by herself and then the rest of them go on the other plane. So why wouldn't you have put the injured one on the plane first and then have everybody else?
Did that other helicopter go down?
I think so.
Yeah.
My wife remembers seeing, because I was like, oh, maybe she's the only one that lives. But there was a moment where you saw like a helicopter kind of coming down. Mm-hmm. It doesn't necessarily like it was hers, but I'm pretty sure it probably was. But yeah.
Yeah. There were some beats in that.
The dialogue
in the story
great.
that was like pretty bad. Pretty bad. I would say this was, honestly, like when I think about it, this was more of a bad movie than a good movie for me. Okay. Like if I had to like have a chart and in the very middle was neutral and then there was only good or bad written on the paper, it would lean towards the bad side.
B movie bad or?
Don't even get me started on B movie, bro. B movie's phenomenal.
Okay. No, like a B movie. You know what they call?
Not the Jerry Seinfeld B movie.
No, not the B movie.
I was about to push all these microphones out of the way and throw hands.
I'd say it's better than
it was.
B movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They call it a B movie.
Yeah.
Like Moonfall would be a B movie.
B minus.
Okay.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's fine. You don't have to love it.
No, it was fine.
Just because I like something doesn't mean you have to like it.
I know that. Jeez. Okay, acting.
Not good.
Not good.
No, I will agree with you on
the
that.
acting.
TJ Miller.
Which one's TJ Miller?
He was the camera guy. He was so annoying.
I hated him.
Marlena was the best actor out of all of them.
Which was she?
She's the one that blew up.
Oh no! Can we just get a moment of silence for Marlena, bro?
Yeah.
She popped.
Yeah, she popped. She was the best actor, and she wasn't in there for very long.
She popped like a mosquito who had drank too much blood. May she rest in peace.
May she rest in peace.
Pieces.
Yeah, I give the acting like a 65. It's not great.
No, not great.
No, it's not great.
The cameraman was so unbearably annoying, and on top of that, unrealistic. Because he's just like, I know that in times like that, people can be very talkative.
Right.
but he was talkative in a way that was like, I don't know how to explain it.
I don't know. I will say though, one of the funniest moments is when they're in the subway. He starts talking about the homeless guy, people on fire.
Remember when that homeless guy was lighting people on fire? That was funny.
That was so funny.
I'm going to give the acting a 50.
Okay, yeah. It wasn't great.
No, it wasn't.
I 100% agree with you on that. It's not great.
Like almost all of it was bad. Probably the only person who was really good was the person who yelled, "We got a bite." This is probably the only good actor in the whole movie. One line. Yeah. She nailed it.
Yeah. I like Marlena, the one that got bit. I think
she was okay.
I thought she did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But it was all like fresh new actors though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this was even like one of TJ Miller's first movies.
I think so.
So it was all people that were pretty much brand new, which doesn't give them a pass. Because Star Wars, they were all brand new too, and the majority of them were really good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's hit or miss when you get rookies.
Yeah.
You know.
Man, see me, I'm talking about Star Wars now instead of you.
I forgot to talk about Star Wars last week.
Oh, you did.
No. There you go. That makes up for it. That's my Darth Vader yell.
There was no Star Wars references in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Dang.
0 out of 10.
I'm a friggin' loser. I'm never going to forgive myself.
No.
Okay, so we would talk about the score.
Yeah.
But ain't no score.
There's no score.
So we'll talk about the sound.
Yeah.
What did you think about the sound?
That was great. I mean, the monster, when he chomps HUD in half at the very end was
pretty nice.
Was amazing.
Did he chomp him in half?
I think so.
Is that what happened?
I think that's what happened.
I can't really tell.
Because I think when you slow it down, again, I've seen so many like theory stuff on this. When you slow it down, you can see his legs like spinning. Like very, very briefly. And what was the monster just bites him in half and is just like, all right, bye.
Can we get an F in the chat for HUD? Poor guy.
He didn't even eat him.
He was so annoying, and then he just got murdered and not even for food.
Yeah, he just bit him in half and then just left Rob and Beth to do whatever the crap they wanted to do.
That monster's rude, bro.
So mean.
So mean.
So, yeah, there's no score, which there wouldn't be because it's all supposed to be on found footage, you know, so there wouldn't really be music other than like the occasional like don't scare you type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I thought the little creatures sounded great. So it's kind of hard because
it was very minimal.
It's just sound effects.
Yeah.
But they were all good. 100 to 200, yeah.
That's pretty low for pretty good.
Well, it was just average, you know. I mean, it wasn't
I guess
like,
so.
yeah.
So one thing the only thing I noted was really inconvenient, but also made sense. When people got further away, it got quieter.
Oh, yeah?
Which, like, duh, right? Because it's, like, on a video camera.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I kept having to turn my TV up and down.
Yeah, no.
And I eventually turned the subtitles on, which, if anybody knows me, knows that that's my nightmare.
Really? Oh, I grew up on subtitles.
See, I can't do subtitles.
I grew up on subtitles. My wife hates them, so I don't really use them ever. But, yeah, I was, like... Mine was even worse because I had to turn it up, but then turn it down so I didn't wake up my kids.
Yeah. Yeah. So at the same time, I'm like, I know that's like, I had to be that way. Like they didn't do that because they suck at making movies. They did that because
they
that's
actually
how
were
it
good
was.
at making them.
Yeah, I guess so.
Kind of.
So yeah, I guess I'm also going to give it 100.
Yeah. The sound effects that were there were great, but also don't really need anything. I don't know.
Yeah. So the vibe.
185.
That's high.
Yeah, I love this movie. It's
That's
a fun
fair.
movie. Yeah,
That's
nostalgia. A couple of quick notes that I was going to say that also I thought was really hilarious, but also made the vibe higher. I loved the product placement in this movie. The Sephora that was not at all destroyed. And SpongeBob that was playing on every TV and like the radio, the freaking Radio Shack or whatever it was. It was just great, right?
Yeah.
Their product placement it didn't feel like product placement because it was real, right? You know, the Sephora, the lights are still on.
Yeah, it's just like perfect.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. That was pretty much most of my notes.
So... I think my issue is that I didn't get enough out of this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. You barely see the monster.
You barely see it. It doesn't really go anywhere.
No.
It just kind of stays in Manhattan.
Lindsay called it the sloth because it doesn't move like at all. It's like super slow, like walking.
I'm going to call this movie Made in Manhattan.
Nice.
It just like...
The monster's the maid.
It like was scary, but every time they saw it, it almost felt like the monster was like, peekaboo.
Yeah,
It would just like pop around the corner and then they'd run away.
Yeah.
And then he'd go peekaboo and he'd pop around another corner. And I was just like, it got to the point where I was like, so the monster's not going to really do much.
No. Chucks the Statue of Liberty head.
Yeah.
Bites somebody in half. And that's
And they
basically
didn't,
all.
I mean, I know it's found footage, but it's like, I would love to see a movie about this shot like a normal movie.
Yeah.
Like
that's what everybody
like maybe
else wants.
a 2-hour long movie.
And like,
with explanation.
yeah, that's what everybody wants. And that's why I said, I think it's died.
Yeah.
So we'll probably never get there. The Cloverfield Paradox, it's like the origin story of it, but it's so bad that it's like not really worth it to even watch. Just like look up something on it and you can get some answers about the monster. But 10 Cloverfield Lane there's like nothing about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the vibe of this a 69.
Okay. Nice.
Because it was just not my favorite.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Man, I really wanted to like it too.
Yeah.
I went in pretty hyped.
Oh, I'm sure
I'm
because
not gonna
I was
lie.
hyping it up, right? I mean,
Yeah, you were hyping it up, but I also just like, I love between like 2007, 8, and 2015. That's like my favorite era of movies.
There's a lot of good ones.
And so I just kind of, I guess, expected this one to be great.
Yeah.
And it just for me, it fell short.
Yeah.
But
That's fine.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to guess first this time.
Oh, crap.
I'm going to guess I gave this movie freaking low, dude. This is a 400s movie for me. I'm going to say I gave it a 419.
Okay. No way. You didn't guess it again.
I guessed it again. You guys, this is 2 weeks in a row.
You're cheating.
No, I'm not, bro. I know I'm the one with the laptop.
And the
No,
calculations.
like legitimately,
oh my gosh.
I got it perfect again.
I said I was one that was good at guessing.
You guys, this is the last episode of the podcast. I am going to bet on sports now and horses. Goodbye, signing off for the last time.
Goodbye. Love you
Bye,
all.
everyone.
And cut.
And cut. Dude, what? Okay, sorry.
No, it's
That's
fine.
a little too
That was
much hype,
amazing.
but
no,
that's
kind of
pretty
not
dope.
though for 2 weeks in a row.
That's solid.
I've only gotten the impossible one right, and that was because there was only 2 numbers.
Yeah, you only gave it like
pretty easy.
20
to figure
10
out. Yeah.
total point, 20 total points off. Okay, what do you think yours was?
Oh my gosh, I did give it some low stuff. 723.
632.
Oh wow, man, I was off. I guess I forgot how low I gave the acting.
Yeah, 65.
Yeah.
It's the second lowest score on the whole board. I gave the acting a 50. So yeah, this movie was just...
Yeah, it's fun.
I just think there's so many other movies similar
Yeah.
that are better.
Did you ever see the first new Godzilla? Because they had like Godzilla King of Monsters and Godzilla versus Kong.
I think so. I think I've seen all of the new ones.
Okay. Because I would say that would score lower for me than this movie because it came out way later than Cloverfield, but it was the same thing. You saw Godzilla like 2 times in that movie.
Yeah, see, that feels cheap.
Right, it was. And the one time you saw Godzilla, it was like amazing. He like freaking opens the monster's mouth and shoots the beam down it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the coolest scene I've ever seen. And then everything else, I was like, this is the dumbest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then they made Godzilla versus Kong, which is just super awesome.
Godzilla versus Kong is so
It was
fun.
so dumb. But it was so great. Why
so
does
great.
Kong have an axe? I don't know. But it's
Dude,
amazing.
give me one reason why he wouldn't. Because it just makes sense.
It just
That's
makes
why.
sense, yeah. I think if you had seen this when it came out,
I'd feel way differently.
you'd feel way different.
Yeah.
Because, again, like I said, I haven't seen this movie in probably 10 plus years. And I was like, okay, I still love it because it's mainly nostalgia at this point. But it's not a great movie.
So did you think going into this, watching it this time, that it was going to be way better than it actually was?
No, I actually was
You
thinking it was
remembered-
probably going to be worse.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because a lot of people talked about the shaky cam and everything. And I was like, oh, okay, I wonder if it's going to bother me now or before it didn't. It still didn't. But yeah, I really noticed how bad the acting was, where before I didn't notice it as badly because I was like freaking 14 years younger, you know?
Yeah. That makes sense.
And so, going to see it in theaters, I don't remember the party being so long. I thought it was like, hey, everybody, this is who everybody is. And then it starts, right?
Yeah.
But again, I have those little memories of like the marketing and the ending, how it just abruptly ends. And I really love that it's a monster or disaster movie where everybody dies. There's no happy ending. This is a horrible ending.
Yeah, it is.
The one person explodes, Yeah. The other one gets bitten in half. The other one's helicopter probably crash and burn. And the other people basically get bombed,
Yeah.
So
it's a bummer.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a big bummer.
Yeah.
Take a moment of silence for all the bad actors who died. Oh, well, the actors didn't die, but
the bad actors that I think TJ Miller was probably the only person that came out of that movie.
The one chick did a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Marlena, the one that pops. She's the one that loves Regina George in Mean Girls.
That's
I don't remember
who
her
it
name.
is.
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Oh, I was trying to figure that out for so
long.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I could have Googled it, but I didn't. So.
We need to do a review of Mean Girls at one point.
I love Mean Girls.
1,000 out of 1,000.
That was going to be the first one to get 1,010. I don't have much more to say about this movie.
Yeah.
I want a true sequel. Apparently, a sequel's in the works.
Supposedly.
Of
Cloverfield,
right?
right? Because again, and like I said, I'm still going to make you watch 10 Cloverfield Lane, but it's just a 100% different movie, and it really is just the name that's tied to it. But that one is, it's really good.
Okay, I'm stoked.
And like recently watched, really good. Not like, it's Cloverfield, I wanted to see it. Really good. It's really good.
If they can make a sequel to this that's similar to like the Tomorrow War.
Okay, yeah.
Or just another movie that's like trying to gun down a monster kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I'd love that.
Yeah.
So I love movies like that.
Answer some questions.
And answer some questions. Especially if the thing's been on Earth the whole time.
Yeah, right?
Somebody explain that to me, please.
That's kind of J.J. Abrams, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't explain a lot of things.
He doesn't.
He leaves questions, which is sometimes a good thing, and sometimes it's not a good thing.
True.
Anybody that's seen Lost, you know what I'm talking about.
Someday I think I'll watch Lost.
I'll make you watch Lost. It's really good.
Okay.
The last season really deterred people, but I actually enjoyed it.
That sounds like television.
It also sounds like J.J. Abrams. He doesn't know how to finish a show.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to finish friggin' anything.
Oh, cool.
Any final thoughts?
No, I don't think so. Oh, we want to do box office predictions?
Of this movie?
Yeah, I actually don't even know what it made.
Yeah, let's do box office predictions.
Okay.
This feels like a $200 million movie to me. I'm going to guess 214. I'm going to guess the exact. No. Are you going to look it up like the exact number?
Yeah.
Okay.
I looked it up, but I'm not actually
because I've had such good luck. I'm going to guess the entire exact number. If I'm right, you guys, you may never see me again because I will be living in a mansion. I'm going to guess it was $212,489,608. Okay, what's yours?
I'm going to guess $194,627,418.64.
Nice. Okay. Got to get that tax. Okay.
$172.4 million.
You win again.
I win again.
Okay.
Well, any final thoughts?
No.
No. All right.
This was a movie that was released almost 15, just over 15 years ago.
Yeah. So, yeah. In our show notes, we have links to all of our cool places, our Discord. Please join the Discord. It's just a cool place for everybody to talk. You can suggest movies. You can post your review of the movie. You can tell Sam why he's dumb and Cloverfield's the greatest movie ever made. I'll probably tell you're dumb because it's really not the greatest movie ever made now. And I have nostalgia for it. We also have an email, reactiontimepodcast@gmail.com, that you can email to us if you have a movie suggestion. We're on TikTok and Instagram at Reaction Time Podcast. And wherever you're listening to right now, please leave a rating and a review if you can. It'll really help Apple and Spotify's algorithms to make us show up more.
Yeah.
So
it'll be very helpful.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening. This has been Running Envelopes, Acting Canaries, Thinking Ions on Neutral Titanics in many eras. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Reaction Time. We will see you next week
when we review Hidden Figures, which again I have not seen.
If you join the Discord, you can look at our sneak peek at next podcast, and I can put it in there so you can figure out.
Guess.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. For this movie, I put a field of clovers.
Very clever. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah. Be safe out there.
Yeah, be safe.
We'll see you next Friday.
Bye.
Bye.